different, because I think we deserve to stay, but the US public decided something else.
Just as we expected, the Three Musketeers are at it. They really are. Because Johnny, Tyreek, and Toby are a menace on different wavelengths. Johnny is trying to pretend to be the statesman, the fact that he spoke about his daughter and how he's a changed man. And it's like side-eye. We're waiting for you to unleash. And then for Tyreek to take KayKay to the terrace and try and kiss her. And when that failed, he then went for Justine. He's doing the Lord's work. He's doing the Lord's work. And then for him to encourage, Toby, you better go and kiss Andrea, because you never know, you might be going home. And so he, Toby worked on that, took it and ran with it. And Andrea, sadly, is gone. I think she's gone. I think if she had her way, she'd stay with Toby. The only reason she would go back to Josh is maybe so that she secures her safety in the villa. But I don't think the viewers will warm up to Josh as much as they'll warm up to Toby. Toby is more likable, in my opinion. And then, oh my God, I'm very disappointed. I don't think Solene deserved to go home. I've said this before, I'll say this again. In my opinion, the ideal people to go home would have been on the guy's side, Chris. Definitely, he needed to go home. And then on the girl's side, it's a bit tricky for me. I don't know who I would want to go home, but definitely on the guy's side, I would want Chris or Josh to go home, because they're not contributing anything to the show anyway. But then I digress. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island Games Season 2, Episode 6. So the islanders are not happy. Obviously, there are those that are vulnerable. And then you have Solene and Meth. They're upset at the fact that they have been made vulnerable by Chris and KayKay. You have Meth sort of having a conversation with Isaiah, Nicola, and Solene, and saying, this is not Love Island as in Romance Island. This is Love Island Games. So if you're looking at the games aspect of it, Solene and I are a very strong couple. So I don't understand why Chris made us vulnerable. And it's like, I don't think he looked at that side. Neither did he look at the romance side. He looked for an excuse. At the end of the day, he was going to save the Americans. That's it. Because to him, they are numbers. What he doesn't realize is the viewers are going to vote. And with the viewer vote, whoever's vulnerable is going to be sent home. So it doesn't make sense why he thinks this was a justifiable reason, or this was the good idea, or the best idea, because Justine has already won twice. It's just a matter of her finding someone she works great with, and she is going to win and make it to she's going to make it to the finale and win. So Chris's excuse that, oh, you're in a friendship couple. So is Justine and Josh. That's not a good enough excuse. Solene, I get why she's upset, because she's friends with KayKay, so it doesn't make sense that her friend would vote her out. Johnny is sitting there. He's having a conversation with Andrea, Justine, with Josh and Kendall and Gabby. And he's saying, I've just come into the villa, so it doesn't make sense why I would be vulnerable. It would really be sad for me to just walk in and walk out again. And it's like, well, I think you got a bad reputation. And I think some viewers might not feel as kindly towards you as you'd expect because of your bad behavior. So I can see why you'd be worried that you might go home. I'm going to continue to campaign. We need little Jess from Australia to come and drag Johnny over the coals, because he can't have it easy going with Andrea. We need her in the mix just to create trouble. So you have Tyreek having a conversation with Toby, Andrea, and his partner Lucinda, and he's saying, he'll have to go balls to the wall the next day, because at the end of the day, that could be his last day, given the fact that the Americans are voting. So he doesn't know whether they'll like him or not, and he has to make sure that he does his best to try and stay in the villa. He says he wants to get out of his friendship couple, and this is Tyreek's downfall, because at times he doesn't censor what he says. I don't think he meant any harm towards Lucinda, but at the same time, Lucinda is not as competitive as some of the girls in the villa, and she didn't seem bothered by the fact that she came last. And Tyreek can't stand that, because he's already said in his intro that if the girl he likes is not good at challenges, he's going to leave her and look for someone who's good at challenges. So it makes sense that he would want to sort of explore other connections and see if he can find someone he works better with. You had Toby and Andrea having a conversation. I think their banter was cute. I think Toby actually makes a better match for her as compared to Josh. The problem with Josh is he's fallen hard, and it's becoming very territorial, and it's becoming a bit scary and creepy. And so if Andrea is not careful, she might end up regretting that. Hopefully she stays with Toby and continues to get to know him. you had KayKay and Solene go for the conversation. This was much needed. This really was much needed because at the end of the day, KayKay and Solene are friends. And so for KayKay and Solene to be friends and then KayKay have the audacity to stand there and say, I'm voting for you because you're in a friendship couple, it doesn't make sense. You'd expect her to save her friend. So I don't understand why she didn't fight for her friend unless Chris told her that we need the Americans. That way we have numbers. That's the only impression that I can think. Solene was happy with the apology, so good for her. I don't know how long that will last. Josh with Justine in soul ties. The plan they were coming up with is the plan that Tyrique was trying to discuss with Andrea, but Andrea was a bit slow on the catch up. Because Tyrique was saying to her, I like you romantically, but at the challenges, you're crap. So I have to look for someone who's good at the challenges so I can stay in the villa for as long as possible. I'm happy to continue to explore a connection with you, but I want to look for someone who's stronger. And she was offended by that. And this is why she's run to Johnny. And this is the same thing that you have Justine and Josh discussing, that they're very good at challenges. They know that there'll never be a romantic spark between the two of them. So they're sort of looking at, shall we stay as a couple while I explore Andrea with somebody else? Or shall we sort of go back to people that we're romantically invested in? If Andrea stays with Toby, the better for me, because she will be his cover and she will be able to save him when the Americans want to save him, unless it's the final four, because at the end of the day, Josh is going to continue to fight for her. And then the Three Musketeers. Tyreek is a menace, he really is. Because you have Ty sitting with Toby and Johnny. We never got to hear what they were discussing, but KayKay walked past and then Ty started flirting with her. They then went to the terrace to have a chat. And he did try and lean in for a kiss, but she said no. And I love that he called her out and he said, are you saying no because you're in a power couple and you don't want to ruin that? And she said, yeah, I don't want to ruin my chances of losing the 250K. I think, this is my opinion, I think KayKay romantically really likes Tyreek. And she knows that Chris is not feeling her that way. And so the idea that she would think Chris just suddenly turning a leaf is going to change things for her, I don't get it. I wish she had been open with Tyreek and actually explained herself fully that I really like you, I'm open to exploring a connection. Let's get you someone who's very strong at challenges. That way you stay in the villa, I stay in the villa in my couple, but we continue to explore this romantically. I think that would have been a better plan for them. But they're really cute. I love their little banter and I love how they flirt. The fact that she was telling him that, he's always on her mind. And it's like, oh my God, I love this for her. I really do. You have the islanders get ready for the night. I love the dynamic between Isaiah and Nicola. Nicola is the sweetest thing ever. I don't know why the guys can't see it, because she's the sweetest thing ever. She's the funniest thing ever. And the guys are more focused on facial appearances than they are on anything else. And as I said before, I hope she doesn't change herself trying to fit a narrative or an impression that she thinks the guys are looking for, because she is beautiful as she is. Beauty is only skin deep. So I hope she doesn't change that. But it's really sweet because Isaiah is very protective of her. He might not like her romantically, but he's very protective about her. The way he was smiling, you can see he really likes her as a person. It's sad that he doesn't like her romantically. I think she'd make a better partner for him than Sydney. I think she's calm, she's more easygoing, and that would be better for her than than him sort of exploring anything with what's her name? Sydney. But that's just my opinion. That you have Lucinda and Meth making out, and it's like, oh my God, Lucinda, this is all she wants in a connection. She and Andrea come from the same template. They're cut from the same cloth. Because this is all they think about. They don't want to get to know someone emotionally or to sort of explore other aspects of a person. As long as you're making out with them, they're good. Anyway, the islanders get ready for bed. Everybody goes to bed. And surprise, surprise, Chris is now ready to kiss KayKay. And KayKay to be giddy and giggling in bed, I don't get it. He's only doing that because he's worried that Tyreek might steal her from him. That's the impression that I get. He's only doing it because he knows that Tyreek has told him that I'm coming for your girl, and so he's trying to secure his place. KayKay needs to know better. She needs to do better. Tyreek has already told you, you don't need to worry about the 250K. I can make you more money than 250K, which is it. Because if they live as a couple and if the viewers buy into them, they could be the next, Nicola Andrea, but that's just me. Anyway, in the morning, you have Lucinda moaning bitterly about the fact that she hasn't had breakfast. She was expecting Meth to make her breakfast. He didn't make her breakfast. Everybody else made breakfast. And for Josh to suddenly make breakfast and be putting bacon just because he heard Toby say he wanted to put bacon, it's like, seriously, the audacity for me. Be more innovative. Have your own ideas. Don't try and poach on somebody else's ideas. Meth has a conversation with Chris in the bathroom because he's asking Chris, I need a justification, I needed a reason. What was the reason? Why did you pick me and Solene? Because you saying we're in a friendship couple doesn't make sense when we're on Love Island games. If we're in Love Island, yes, but Love Island games doesn't make any sense. And Chris is saying, oh, it's just you don't even talk to her. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, do they work together amazingly as a team? Yes, and that's it. So your excuse doesn't make sense. Chris doesn't have the cojones, and sadly, he doesn't have the likability factor. People liked him in his season, but now that he's come back as a very pompous, you know what, people are not feeling him, or I am not feeling him. The drama between Lucinda and Meth doesn't make sense to me because you had Meth try and call her for a chat and she refused because she was saying that, you didn't make me coffee, you didn't make me breakfast. I want a guy to make me breakfast. If they don't make me breakfast, then that's it, we're done. She was throwing a tantrum. He then said to her, what do you mean you're upset about breakfast? I didn't say anything about you cuddling Tyreek in bed. And it's like, yeah, she is. She's the one who's leaving her end of the bed and going to Tyreek. It's not the other way around. So I don't know. Maybe she needs to sort of look at that. I think he didn't make her breakfast because he was upset about the Tyreek situation, but he didn't know how to sort of express himself. Andrea and Johnny have a conversation with Johnny saying now he's a father, he's more serious about his game, he's more serious about what he's looking for in a relationship. For Andrea to say she's been turned off Tyreek and she wants to now focus on Johnny. Girl, if I were you, I would speak to Jess because Jess was a teachable moment for a lot of girls because Johnny made her believe that he was all in with her. And then when his type walked into the villa, he dumped her. So you're in for a rude awakening if you think you've won the lottery win with Johnny as compared to Tyreek. I can't wait for the tears to start running. Josh having a conversation with Andrea and trying to suss out where she is when it comes to Toby and whether she's still interested in exploring a connection with him. She says she likes Toby, yeah, and then he said, he's not sure whether to stay with Justine because they are very good at challenges and continue to explore the. And it's like, I want Josh going home. I think it's too intense. I think it's only a matter of time before things go kaput. And so I'd rather he go home and receive the therapy that he needs to process his grief. I don't think he needs to be processing his grief in the villa. I don't know how long it's been since his sister passed away, but I don't think the villa is it for him. I think he'd be better off at home trying to process that. Finally, Isaiah and Solene go for a chat. Isaiah and Solene are playing hide and seek. They had a very cute chat. They were talking about, where they're based. He's based in Florida. She's based in Paris. And they would really make a sweet couple. I think they would. I think they would complement each other very well. Because I think Isaiah, if he wants to be a player, Solene will teach him how to play. She will actually show him that she's actually a bigger player. Because it sounds like she's bi. So I don't know how that will play out in regards to them as a connection. But I think Isaiah, of all the girls in the villa, they are way more calmer than his connection with Sydney in the villa the last time we saw him. So I would rather he be either Solene or Nicola. I think they are better matches for him. But I don't know exactly what he's looking for, whether he's looking for his type. KayKay having a conversation with Andrea, and Andrea sort of explaining that, she likes Toby. She thinks he's great. She also likes Josh. She thinks he's great, but Josh is too serious. I've said this from the start. Josh is too intense, and I don't think he's the person for her. I think she needs to focus more on someone who gives her what she needs, which is this should be lighthearted. This should be happy. Should be joyful. So the idea that she is with this man who is a bit too intense, I don't know, and I'm not buying it. So she has a conversation with them, sort of trying to explain how she feels. And then Chris suddenly appears. I think Chris was trying to get notes for Josh. I think suddenly Josh is going to start being playful and more lighthearted, but that will be a persona. Won't be him actually expressing himself. And so I wish she hadn't said anything in front of everybody else. I think she should have taken KayKay and Nicola aside and should have asked Chris to sort of stand back a bit, because Chris is definitely going to run it back and press play and regurgitate everything he's heard in this conversation. Tyreek, realizing that he could be in trouble because KayKay doesn't want to budge, he then pulled Justine for a chat. Tyreek has got the gift of the gab. He really does. He has the gift of the gab. You could see Justine was eating whatever he was selling. She was eating whatever he was selling. Because she said, he said he wants to get out of his friendship couple. He's been very vocal about it. But then Justine is saying you have too many, balls in the air. You have KayKay, you have Andrea, and now you want to put me in that mix. And it's like, hey, It is what it is. If he wants you in the mix, go in the mix, see what happens. Because at the end of the day, you want airtime. This is why you're back. I don't think you're back for 250K. You could easily make that outside the villa, unless you've realized that there's a lot more clout coming out of being in Love Island, especially after season 7. That's the only impression. That's the only thing I could think of as to a reason why she came in. So they did have cutesy chat, but I don't know whether they're going to explore that further. Kendall was a very good wingman for Meth. He was, because he had a conversation with Meth, because Meth is saying, I don't understand why Lucinda's playing up. I don't understand why she's throwing tantrums. And Kendall was like, she wants princess treatment. And it seems you have to give her princess treatment before she can sort of give you anything. And he's saying, well, I don't want to continue giving her everything when she's not giving me anything at all. So it has to be a give and take in this relationship. We can't have one person just getting what they want. And I understand it, and I've always said that the girls on Love Island are always the ones that receive breakfast. You never get to see the girls sort of do acts of service until a couple of weeks into the show. This is only 3 weeks. We need to get it moving. If Lucinda wants this man, then she has to put in the work. Kendall was able to help him set up a little cutesy date on the deck. That was sweet. That was really sweet. You could tell that she was excited on her part, and she thought this was it. She had won the lottery. She did ask him, did you set this up? And he said yes. And it's like, just tell the truth and just say, Kendall, help me. But at the end of the day, as long as she's happy. So the islanders get ready for the night. Everyone is nervous. They really are, because they don't know who's going home and they don't know which way America is going to vote. And so everyone is worried. You have Meth pull Lucinda for a chat, because he is very worried about being dumped, because sadly they're both in a foreign couple, so there's no American that they would think the viewers might warm up to or might already like and want to support. So I think he's worried that he might be going home, and he really likes Lucinda as a romantic interest, and so it's a matter of what's going to happen if either one of them is dumped. I think he was able to reassure her. They shared a kiss. Do I think Lucinda's a changed person? I would hope so, because if you look at Meth, if you look at Zach, her partner from Love Island, Australia, I think Meth is a better connection, and I think she needs to put in the work to make sure she secures him. And even if one of them is dumped, they can always pick it up once they leave the villa. You have Nicola go for a chat with Gabby, and I really feel sorry for her. I really do, because sadly, Chris gave her the impression that he really likes her romantically, but I think Chris is more focused on winning. I don't understand why he feels it's important for him to win Love Island games, unless he wants to change the narrative on his story the last time he was in the villa. So she is talking to Gabby, and she's saying, I feel disheartened because I liked Isaiah and I could feel a romantic spark there, and I could see a future with the two of us, but he says that connection is not there for him. So because he doesn't like me, I am now in the situation whereby when we come down as girls and we're nicely dressed, all the guys are excited to see their partners and no one is excited to see me. And it's really sad, because I know there have been some comments online saying that she's not the prettiest, and it's like, beauty is only skin deep. It's only skin deep. She comes across as one of the sweetest person, very good sense of humor. She's very charismatic. So I don't understand what viewers are not connecting with her. I love that Gabby was her biggest cheerleader, and she was telling her that don't worry about the guys. Your partner will come. Focus on the fact of what we are saying to you. We think you're amazing. We think you're good looking. And so hopefully the producer seeing this will send her person, because I really like her, and I hope the bombshell that's coming in likes her as a person and is able to couple up with her. I don't know who the bombshell is. I didn't get to see their face, so I can't wait. Hopefully they don't bring Steph, because oh my god, Steph is a menace. Maybe he might come in to replace his fellow countryman. Josh having a conversation with Chris while you have KayKay and Tyreek flirting, and then you have Toby and Andrea going into the speakeasy is just something else, because you have Chris saying, I'm not sure about KayKay, look at her, she's busy taking cutesy pictures with Tyreek, and it's like, you didn't give her anything for days, and so somebody else gave her what she was looking for. Now suddenly it's, me, why is she no, you didn't give her what she wanted. Take several seats. If Tyreek moves on, then you can try again, but at the moment she's busy with Tyreek. Allow them to enjoy whatever they have going. There was this conversation about his connection, in him saying sort of, I don't know whether to explore Justine. And for Josh to say, I appreciate you telling me first before you it's like, Justine is not your property. She's not your girl. There's nothing romantic there. He doesn't need to tell you what he's doing. It's in the villa. You're in a friendship couple. He's open to exploring a connection. As I said before, and I'll say again, Chris likes Justine romantically more than he likes KayKay. He's with KayKay because he knows she's loyal, but that's it. But the moment KayKay continues to sort of go down Tyreek path, he's already looking for somebody else he can latch on, and I have a feeling it's going to swap partners and end up with Justine. Hopefully, if he ends up with Justine, they both go home. You have, on his part, Josh is saying, I like Justine, the fact that we are winning, but I'm not sure because romantically I'm still interested in Andrea, so I'm sort of juggling that and trying to see what works out better for me because I'm also here to win. And it's like, if everyone is here to win, then no one is going to be the winner then. On her part, Andrea's in the speakeasy. She's busy flirting with Toby. Toby was told by Tyreek that if you're going home, go home having kissed Andrea. Don't just go home just for the sake of it. So they went to speakeasy. They were really flirty. I loved their flirt. I really did. They spoke about other countries, about traveling, and then they shared a kiss, not once, but twice. And it's like, oh, she's gone. She actually commented and said that was a very good kiss. And it's like, oh my God, Toby must be good at what he does then. I really love this for her. Outside you have, everybody else hanging around. So you have Johnny. Andrea has decided to be, right next to Johnny wherever he goes, because that's all you see. She's wherever he is, she is there. You have Isaiah with Solene there. They're having a conversation because everyone in the villa is panicking. They're worried about who did America vote for and who is vulnerable. And nobody knows their fate because this is the first time they've had votes. On her part, Solene is just saying, I'm going to say, God bless America until they don't vote for me. And it's like, I like the girls. I think I like all the girls. There's no girl I would want to be dumped. Justine, the only reason I want her dumped is because she's already won this thing twice. She doesn't need to be here at that time. Allow other people the opportunity to win it. If you're a winner, you don't need to come back. Allow other people to win. That's just my issue with her. Ariana Maddox then arrives. She looks amazing. She always does. She asks the islanders to gather around the fire pit. They gather around the fire pit, and she reveals that, there are 3 couples that are safe and the rest of the couples are vulnerable, and I'm here to announce who is going home. So Chris and KayKay, Justine and Josh, and Kendall and Gabby are the safe couples. Everybody else is asked to stand up. They all stand up, and she reveals that they are going to reveal who out of the couples has been saved by America. First up, she says it was Andrea and Johnny. Andrea, the way she cried and made it seem like she had won $1 million is like, girl, sit down. Sit down. You're doing a bit too much. You could see Johnny was getting the ick because he was trying to pacify her. And Tyreek, I think, already got the ick. And you could see Johnny is about to get the ick. She's a stunning girl, but there are certain quirks about her that put off guys. And, they overshadow how pretty she looks. Sadly for her, I hope she works on that. Next couple revealed was Ty and Lucinda. Am I surprised? No. Ty, I have a feeling, was number 1 couple. Everybody, I think, was surprised that Ty was saved. You could see the shock on their faces. I don't think they expected Ty in a UK couple to be safe, not realizing that the person they're speaking the most about is Tyreek. Because Tyreek is going to be a menace and is going to keep you entertained and you're going to fall in love with him whether you want to or not. Because they were revealed as the 2 safe couples, you then had Toby and Andrea, Solene and Meth, and Nicola and Isaiah told to stand at the front of the fire pit. They were sort of little pedestals. And they were given a choice that either you pick up the boxes. They picked up 3 boxes that were there, and they were told it's either you decide that your fate is held in the box or you want America to vote. Everybody was sort of debating, what shall we do? So Solene and Meth decided that they wanted America's vote. Toby and Andrea wanted to go with the box, and then Nicola and Isaiah wanted America's vote. Because Nicola was saying, I didn't expect anyone to like me, and I've come here. I've got 9 great American friends, so I'm hoping whatever they see in me, the viewers at home see the same thing. So they were then asked to open their boxes, and in the boxes, Toby and Andrea had picked safe, Solene and Meth had picked safe, Nicola and Isaiah had picked dumped. So they had to put the boxes down and the fate was revealed. So Nicola and Isaiah were the first couple informed that they were safe. The excitement on Nicola's face, she couldn't believe it. She was so excited, she was giddy. And I really love this for her. I have a feeling they're trying to get people on her side because production must have fallen in love with her. And I think this is why they made her vulnerable. I don't think they wanted her to be sent home. And I think they encouraged that they go with America's vote. Next couple revealed to be safe were Toby and Andrea. which meant that Solene and Meth were vulnerable, which is really sad because I really like Solene. I think she's got an amazing personality. I think she's one of the most funniest people ever. I like how sort of well, in your face she is with her comments. She doesn't care. She even when they were dumped, you could see that Chris and KayKay were now in trouble because at the end of the day, they chose them to be dumped, and everyone is going to be side-eyeing you that you sent someone home who didn't deserve to go home. So you are going to carry that, scarlet letter. So it's really sad that Meth and Solene were sent home. I wish they could come bring them back, but I don't think they'll do that because we've already been shown two other islanders that are coming in. I think one is Sydney. I don't know who the guy is, so I can't wait to see what that is. I wish they would slow it down. I wish they didn't get rid of people that quickly. So I can't wait to see who the bombshells are. I don't know whether Sydney and Isaiah, there's ever going to be a sort of a reconnection. I think it's a waste of an islander. They could have brought in somebody else, or they could have kept Solene and just dumped one of the guys. Anyway, I can't wait to see what happens with that. Thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 4. Bye guys.